Good evening and welcome everyone. I'm Sheetal Rastogi. We are here for Cocktail Hour series by World Travel Magazine. Thanks for joining us today. I hope you all are healthy and safe. One destination that needs to be on everyone's bucket list post-pandemic is Morocco. For leisure travelers, Morocco generally means a few days spent around Casablanca, Marrakesh and Fez. The more adventurous travelers can spend a few weeks crisscrossing the country and they would still be left yearning for more. I would like to bring spotlight today on vibrant city Marrakech. And we have Fabien Gastinel, General Manager, Oberoi Marrakech, joining us today. Fabien is a passionate hotelier with extensive experience in flagship luxury properties across 4 continents. Hello and welcome, Fabien.
Good evening, Sheetal. Thank you very much for hosting us and hosting me here in your program. Great
How are you
opportunity.
today?
Very good, very good. It's a beautiful sunny weather in Marrakesh. Hello, everyone. I hope you're all safe and in good health. Thank you again, and very happy to be here today.
Excellent. Fabien, you've worked in Asia and Middle East before. How has Marrakech been for you so far?
Well, I think there's always been, a very special bond, first of all, between Morocco and my country of origin, France, because of the culture, the language spoken, the people mentality as well. Myself, I've been coming to Morocco for the last 30 years, with my parents. I used to come every second year, I would say. And Marrakesh and Morocco have been treating me, very well so far. I think, its people are very kind, very welcoming, always happy to help. And I would say, over the last 20 years, of being an expat, I think that Morocco has been my favorite country so far, and Marrakesh my favorite city. So, no, doing great. Thank you very much.
No, I can really vouch for the friendliness of people and hospitality. I was there myself a couple of years back, and it still remains pretty fresh in my memories.
Correct. So, it's an amazing country and an amazing city to live in.
It is indeed. Fabien, can you tell us about inspiration behind Oberoi Marrakech design?
Yes, correct. So, the hotel, when we bought the land, it used to be an old farm. And when we started building the hotel, we really wanted to incorporate the natural beauty of the farm and the nature around it, around our property. So we didn't really move out any trees or plants out. I would say we made it look better. The hotel took in total, the hotel took about 10 years, in the making. So it really says about the amount of people and the amount of hours needed to complete this magnificent property. The architect of the hotel is a gentleman called Patio, who's a French gentleman whose work was very much appreciated by architect lovers for doing some of the best Moroccan palaces in Morocco. The gardens that we have and the landscaping in the hotel was very much inspired by Madison Cox, who's a very well-known American landscaping designer. And the authentic architecture really of the hotel was taken from the ancient palaces of Morocco back into, the 1900s. So there is a lot of history in the making of its hotel. Currently, we're sitting. We're here in our outdoor courtyard, which was very much inspired actually by the Madrasa Ben Youssef, which is actually the oldest Quranic school in Morocco and in Marrakesh that date from the 14th century. And this patio here is just beautiful, and one of the area of the hotels that guests really enjoy spending time in.
I can really see the patio design. I see the mosaic work, and I see the beautiful garden and canal behind you as well. So I wish
Yeah,
I could be there right now. It's a beautiful day.
correct. And one of the things I forgot to mention was that the hotel is ideally placed facing the Atlas Mountains. And actually behind me, you may see some of the shades of the Atlas Mountain, but the view of, from the hotel into the Atlas Mountains is really amazing.
Fabien, what changes you had to bring in, keeping in mind the pandemic and the COVID situation, which is there right now? What were some of the changes that you had to bring in before reopening of the resort?
Well, for us, the most important and the most crucial at this stage is to ensure the well-being and the well-being really of our team members and our guests when we reopen the hotel, and make sure that we've got the right sanitary measures while keeping, the privacy and the comfort of our guests and team members. We have partnered with Bureau Veritas to make sure that we are compliant with all the latest, hygiene and sanitary measures put in place by the World Health Organization. So first, right now, that's our priority. But this time as well allowed us to rethink our offering, rethink our storytelling in the hotel, we've created new experiences for our guests to make sure we continue providing these unforgettable memories and continue promoting the legendary Oberoi service that we're known for. I'm very excited as well to share that we'll be launching towards end of the year a full wellness program called SAHA, that stands for Soul and Spirit, Active Body, Holistic Treatment, and a Better Plate. And this program will be launched next year. We do believe nowadays, wellness takes a very important stage into, a guest journey, and we think that's something that will generate interest and help us continue, engage with our guests.
Yeah. And what's the best way to explore? I understand that you will be opening the hotel very soon.
Correct. So the reopening of the hotel has been announced for 31st of October. We're very excited, to be able to welcome our guests back, and especially, our team members to come back and, engage with them. And for us, it's a little bit of a second opening because we opened the hotel December 1st and we had to close for a while, but we're very excited again to open the hotel on October 31st.
What's the best way to explore Marrakesh?
Well, here in the hotel, really, we have dedicated city guides that we work with. So I think the best way you can really explore the city through the hotel is to go and speak to our lovely chief concierge, Samir, and arrange a tour with our dedicated and private city guides that are really, those Moroccan city guides we're working with are really passionate about the culture and the diversity of the city and the country. And that's probably the best way to do it. For the more adventurous, and I've done it and it's really exciting, and it was an exciting experience, is to do it through the sidecar experience. The sidecar, I'm sure you all know, it's basically a motorbike with a sidecar on the side. And doing it, through a sidecar experience in the street of La Medina. La Medina is the old city of Marrakesh. It's as well a great experience. It's a tour that takes about an hour to 2 hours, and you see a little bit of everything in Marrakesh.
Yeah, I can imagine getting lost in Medina was one of my favorite experiences as well when I was there. It's just, you can spend hours and hours and probably days in Medina, just walking around, go to these one of these rooftop bars or different restaurants. I think that's been one of my favorites, personal favorite as well. But I haven't tried the sidecar one, but I'm sure it's going to be amazing to sit in the sidecar and go around Medina.
Correct.
How is, you know, if you were to experience Marrakesh like a local, what are some of the activities you would recommend?
Well, I think you have to, I mean, it's a very good question, and I think you really have to go off the path of the Medina souks and, the traditional, tourist traps in brackets. But one of my favorite spots is to go to very traditional markets. One of them is a flea market that is on the outskirts of the Medina. And it's a place where you don't see tourists. It's only locals, and you've got great bargains. You can find amazing deals and at unbeatable prices. And really, the art and crafts that you find in Morocco is of great quality and of great diversity. So the best way really to experience Marrakesh as a local is to go where the locals go. The traditional markets that are really a little bit off the path, and one of them, the flea markets in the outskirts of the Medina, is one of my favorite ones.
Amazing. I think I'm going to check out next time I'm there.
You have to.
What are some of the dining experiences, the local places that you would recommend for dining or really enjoying nightlife in Marrakesh?
Well, first of all, in the hotel, I would definitely speak about our secret garden lunch, which is a very secret place where we host, our guests, and, our chef can tailor-made a menu basically as per guest preferences. And it's located in our beautifully manicured gardens. And that's something that, we're going to be launching very soon, and we're very excited about. Outside of the hotel, one of the best experiences that I've done so far, and that I highly recommend, is dining on Plateau du Tirk. So Plateau du Tirk is a mountain that is about an hour outside of Marrakesh. The ride to the mountain and climbing the mountain is just beautiful. And when you arrive there, basically you've got, an aperitif being served. You've got a private tent with a fire pit, and then you dine overlooking at Marrakesh, and the view, is just amazing because you see Agafay Desert as well around Marrakesh. So that's, one of my favorites. But as well, I think Marrakesh is so well known for its cultural heritage that, taking a guide and going and visit, Jardin Majorel and Yves Saint Laurent museums, are as well some of the very local and traditional experiences that you can do while in Marrakesh.
Yeah. And how do you see Marrakesh now, being there for over a year now yourself? Whether it's good for families or couples, or how do you see it?
Well, Marrakesh is really good for both. It's there is so many activities, so many activities offered in Marrakesh that it's perfect really for families and couples. Here in the hotel, we're trying to keep very much the privacy of our couple guests by giving them a lot of private space, while we do offer, an amazing kids club called Le Petit Loup that is a kids club really focusing on social engagement, social and emotional engagement with the kids. But really, whether you're an adventure, sun seeker, or art and craft, or culture discovery, Marrakesh has really so much to offer that it's perfect for couples and perfect for families. Especially if you're a sport and adventure addict, there is a lot to do in Marrakesh and outside of Marrakesh to keep you busy for, I would say a good week.
And how is your weekend like in Marrakesh?
Good question. Well, most of my weekends are at work, unfortunately. Well, I could say unfortunately, but fortunately as well, because, we work in an amazing space. But yeah, most of the time I spend time here with my guests and team member. When I do get off, obviously, I enjoy spending time with the family. But as well, I like to discover, Marrakesh. Now it's a little bit difficult because I know Marrakesh pretty well, and I've been here probably 6 or 7 times before moving here. So I find it tough to find new places. But no, I love to explore the Medina, to go and meet locals, eat in traditional restaurants. Especially I like to get out as well, to go out of Marrakesh. In the outskirts of Marrakesh, there is a lot of things to discover outside of the city within an hour, whether it's beautiful lake, deserts, or, to go and do sports, adventures and so forth. Marrakesh is keeping me very busy.
And one dish and dessert that completes Marrakesh experience, what would that be?
So the main course, traditional dish, I would definitely speak about the méchoui. The méchoui is a bit of a festive Moroccan dish that is using either sheep or lamb, and the sheep or lamb are spit roasted on a barbecue. The word méchoui comes from the Arabic word anwa, that means sawa. Sawa, that means spit or roasted, spitted or roasted. And that's an amazing dish. The meat actually cooks for a very, very long time on the barbecue, and it's just amazing. For the desserts, I would, probably choose a healthy dessert that is rare usually for desserts. And I would talk about the orange cinnamon. The orange cinnamon is a very traditional Moroccan dessert that is, sliced oranges, orange water, and cinnamon powder to highlight, the flavors of the orange. So I think that's a very good way to end your meal.
That's very tempting. I think orange and cinnamon go really well together, but not many people try that.
Oh, you have to try it.
Yes, I loved it. I did try in one of the restaurants. I think that was my first time trying orange with cinnamon, and it was really really nice. Normally cinnamon you would try with apple, but with orange it was equally nice.
Yes, correct.
So, Fabien, are we able to have a look around the patio you are in and probably take a tour of the villa and the spa if it's possible?
So we'll do a tour of the villa and the spa. I've arranged Sophia and Sarah to do that. And I'd love to take you around the patio, this patio. You have to see this patio. So
Sure.
What I would recommend is that, we maybe go quickly around and you can see basically this beautiful patio. So you can see this is called traditional zellige, which is a traditional tile from Morocco. But you can see as well the height of the patio, right? 12 meters high, 600 square meters of space. All the walls, you can see basically all the walls here were hand carved. We had for 2 years, about 250 workers hand carving the wall. And it's just beautiful. I can see, not sure you can see the water pond as well behind. But it's a beautiful space. And, when our guests arrive here, they're always very, very amazed by this place. And, it's definitely a picture, one of the most Instagrammable picture, I think, in Marrakech as well for our guests to enjoy.
Yeah, it kind of gives a glimpse of, how it is to be in the venue. So I think that's what you mentioned. That's the inspiration behind the design and the architecture of this patio. It's beautiful. Let's take a tour with Sarah and Sophia then. We'll see you in a bit.
I hope you enjoy. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, Mr. Fabien. I am now in the signature suite of the hotel, the Royal Suite. It's a majestic accommodation, as you can see, adorned with handcrafted traditional Andalusian design features. On our left, the king-size bedroom. It comes with a decorated living room and a bathroom. While on our right, we do the opportunity to have a connecting deluxe room on the side, and we transform it to a 2-bedroom suite. Our guests, they can enjoy a special lunch or dinner in the comfort of their room, either here in the dining room on our left, or outside in the large private terrace with a swimming pool. We can also arrange a private barbecue or cocktails served while our guests enjoy the unparalleled views of the Atlas Mountains, the Grand Canal, and the surrounding orchards. Also, the Royal Suite comes with a 24 hours personalized butler service.
Welcome to the Oberoi Spa. The spa is located on a water body within the orchards that you can admire from all our treatment rooms and terraces. We believe that holistic care is requisite for internal and external well-being. This is why we have chosen Alchimia aromatherapy products and treatments. In our Moroccan traditional hammam, our rituals combine the virtues of warm, steam, and natural Moroccan products. It's a perfect treatment to relax, purify the skin, and discover the Moroccan traditional beauty rituals. Our guests can also experience our Oberoi signature treatments inspired by ancient Indian traditions in one of the 7 treatment rooms, like the use of the Casablanca or the warm water bara. We also have a spa-covered and heated swimming pool, where guests can enjoy the view of the lake and the tranquility of the space after their therapies, indoor or in the terrace while drinking one of our homemade drinks. We propose also yoga sessions and fitness classes with our resident coach.
Now moving on to cocktail session. I see, Fabien, you have a wonderful setting.
Yes, correct. So we are actually on the terrace of the bar, overlooking at the garden of the hotel. You might not see the alley behind us, but you might see some of the beautiful olive trees that we have in the garden. And we actually have about 2,500 olive trees in the garden of the hotel. I'm here with Jalal, our bar manager, very talented bar manager, who will be taking you through, one of the signature and local touch cocktail that we serve here at the Oberoi Marrakech. And Jalal is very excited to show it to you. And unfortunately, you won't be able to taste it, but I hope you make it to Marrakech to taste it. So
yeah,
correct. So I'll leave it with Jalal.
So hello, as you can see, our cocktail is inspired by our cultural tradition at the same time. So as being growing up in Morocco, the first thing that you're gonna taste since your childhood is the minty, which is a symbol of the hospitality in Morocco, and as well is like a tradition in our life, in our daily life. The second thing, if we go to the Medina and just to Jamaica, the first thing that you're gonna smell is the strong smells of the spices. And that special spice is it's called Ras Hanout. Ras Hanout, which means like the head of the shop, which it's a mixture of 2 different spices, but it's one of the best spices. So I get inspired from this cocktail to represent our culture, our tradition, with the mint, which is come from our organic garden, and Ras Hanout, which come from the Medina. So we start making our cocktail. So the first thing we're gonna start with some fresh mint from our organic garden. We have just tomato little bit to give it like a little more taste. Our main ingredient is an American whiskey.
That's a large shot, Chital.
yeah. I can see that.
That's a very large shot.
I think you're going to have an early start today, Fabien.
Yeah.
It's a really strong spice, and mostly it's used in Tangier, all Moroccan cuisine. A little bit of simple syrup just for the taste. ice. And our secret is like our homemade bitters, which is made from spices and herbs from our botanic garden.
After that, I'm gonna have to drink it though, so I might not be as fresh for the rest of the speech.
Stir it a little bit to mix all the flavors together.
Yeah.
Crushed ice. A nice leaf of our organic mint for the garnish. Straws. And top it with botanicals. Here's our signature cocktail, Ras Al Hanous Gin.
Cheers.
Beautiful.
Thank you very much.
Cheers, Fabien.
Great. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, you have to come to taste it.
No, I indeed. Thank you, Jalal.
Thank you very much, Jalal.
Thank you so much. Enjoy drinks.
What's the best time to visit Marrakesh? Any seasonal experiences that you would recommend?
Yeah, well, all the seasonal activities really, are very much outdoor activities. Whether it is, a hot air balloon ride, camel riding, quad biking, on the outskirts of Marrakesh, and all of them are taking place outdoor. So really, the best time would be between, I would say mid-September to June. And all these seasonal activities really are very much up to the weather outside, right? You can't really enjoy them when it's 42 or 43 degrees outside.
Yeah, and especially coming from the region we are in, we are always looking for cooler weathers when we travel.
Yeah, correct. But most mornings, in Marrakesh are very enjoyable. Sometimes in the afternoon, it will tend to get hot. And usually those activities, are much more enjoyed, morning time or late afternoon.
Late afternoon, right. And what are some of the products or items you would recommend to buy from Marrakesh to take home?
Well, that's a good thing about Marrakesh is that really art and craft and souvenir. You have so much choices in the souk, and first it always goes there and bring back things and at my home, and where are we gonna put this? But one of my favorites and recommended item would be an item called les babouches. Les babouches is a traditional home slipper that people use at home to walk in their home, and they come basically in all type of colors, and the quality is really great. So I would definitely recommend if you visit Marrakesh and want to bring back something, les babouches is definitely something you want to take with you.
Fabien, before we wrap up our today's session, do you have any message for our viewers?
Well, thank you, Shital. Well, first, I think in the world and, situations that we live in currently, I think the best I can wish for everyone is to be safe, stay well, in good health. And again, I'm very much looking forward to being able to welcome you and all our viewers to the Oberoi Marrakech and make you discover the amazing and rich culture of the country and what the city has to offer. Thank you, Shital.
Thanks, Fabien, for joining us today. And thanks to all our viewers for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed this short journey in Marrakech. Do join us next week, Wednesday, 5:30 p.m. Singapore time, as we bring another exciting destination live for you. Thank you. Goodbye.